Greetings everyone and welcome to the premiere of the second season of History of ILA. The end of ILA 100 Plus Alliance left our team in a very difficult position and in a dire need to regroup as soon as possible. Just like any other player that was part of both ILA and 100 Plus, I had to choose which team I will stay with. As I've mentioned in Season 1 finale, 100 Plus was objectively better at that moment, but I simply felt that what happened was not right. 100 Plus was basically born from ILA, and I considered it some kind of betrayal, despite I know it's not the case and everyone is free to do whatever they want after all. Hence I decided to stick with ILA and more than that to join the ILA Council in order to make an impact. My application has been accepted, so I joined Julian, Jimmy and Sana in their quest to bring ILA back to its very best. Joe was also here to help the team and he did an awesome job again by recruiting a lot of members to ILA. The internal ranking system became available in April 2016. Of course, almost all of ILA members registered for it, as it was very interesting to be ranked based on all these criteria. It was exciting to see and welcome in such thunderous applauses, but it also brought a great responsibility for the council members who had been about to deal with a big database of stats. Here we have an example from a future ILA category. April 2016 was a historical moment for QuizUp and for ILA, as the first official QuizUp tournament took place. It covered 3 topics, and ILA managed to become the first team to ever win such a tournament. The victory was sealed by our top player Monta. The WhatsApp group remained very attractive, featuring all sorts of discussions from football teams to which inventor had a more important contribution to the development of technology between Tesla and Edison. May 2016 was a month without any incidents and notable things to mention. At the beginning of June, ILA Council provided the first world titles list, as you can see in this picture. The beginning of June also brought some bad news, as Sana had to resign from her leader position. Sana used to manage a significant amount of ILA internal ranks stats, so sustaining the system became even more difficult for ILA Council, especially because Julian said from the very beginning that he will not work on these stats. In this situation, Jimmy was the one who had to take care of most of the stats. This burden proved to be very costly for ILA Council in the following weeks. The middle of June marked the start of an important sport event, the UEFA Euro 2016. ILA Council knew how to take advantage of this and organize a tournament related to football and a very interesting predictions league. The members were supposed to guess the scores of several matches. Depending on how close your prediction was to the actual result, you got a certain amount of points. Jimmy started this initiative, but he didn't finish the league because in the third week of June, he and Sana decided to leave the team. There was no relevant official explanation, but the real reason behind this was that they were unhappy because Julian was barely helping them with the tasks Council had to fulfill, especially the internal ranking system. And that's how an overwhelming project managed to ruin the ILA leadership. In that moment, I knew that I'll need to have a more important contribution to the council, but unfortunately, I was the newest member of the council. I had almost no experience as council member, so assuming a leader position would have been inappropriate at that moment. Hence, I decided to polish my leadership skills, and I thought a bit about a challenge that would help me. I've decided to restore a dead team, and what team would have been a greater challenge than the long-time hated Superior Network? And to make things even more interesting, I've simulated the return of TSN's most hated leader, Satan. Of course, I was unable to use his actual account, so I had to create a new one and pretend that his previous account has been banned, which was actually true. Under my new alias, I announced the comeback of TSN and started recruiting members. It was an excellent practice for improving my recruiting technique. Another important step was finding some people that would help me managing the team. As expected, TSN's bad reputation made things a bit harder for us. But on the other side, I was really surprised to notice the affinity of other people for controversial things. It actually scared me. For example, Michael Zeno was willing to negotiate an alliance between TSN and KE. Initially, I have literally thought this is a joke, but it wasn't. Meanwhile, there was no much action going on in ILA. Julian attempted to come up with an Enigma ILA tournament, but unfortunately that initiative failed because we were unable to gather the required number of members to join. Overall, the revival of TSN was a success as members were proud being part of this group. They were supporting each other, and they were also taking part at tournaments. TSN 2.0 was a beautiful project, which I had to abandon sooner than I wanted because ILA's situation worsened. In July 2016, a lot of members went inactive and our topic became kinda dead. After this pause, the topic was quiet for 3 weeks. The only thing that was still pretty active was the ILA group on WhatsApp. There were also no tournaments, and it's pointless to mention the absence of internal rankings for June. In this difficult situation, I informed the TSN Council that I'm going on a holiday and I was gone forever, so I could focus entirely on ILA. It was a strange feeling that I'm not ready to take over a team with such legacy, but I was equally aware that immediate action had to be taken in order to save this legacy.